What's going on, everyone? Mike Kadlick, Tayler Kyles here for CLNS Media inside of Gillette Stadium on a rainy Thursday as the Patriots get ready to head to Miami this weekend to take on the Dolphins for their Week 12 matchup. A reminder, we are powered by Prize Picks and Game Time. Head over to Prize Picks, use code CLNS for $50 instantly when you play $5. Head over to Game Time, use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. All right, Taylor, a quick hitters edition of our daily stand-ups on this Thursday. First and foremost, we spoke with Cole Strange, interior offensive lineman for the Patriots today. Mentioned his journey, really talked about for the first time his journey back from that torn patellar tendon last season. Said he's had a trying off season, had a couple of setbacks. Said he questioned whether or not he could play football again. Said he could barely walk.
Couldn't go to the bathroom by himself, poor guy.
Yeah, couldn't even go to the bathroom by himself. He was mentioning at one point how his knee was like always at a 90-degree angle and he couldn't do anything. And so for him to come back, he seems like he's ready and not so much ready to get on the field, but excited to be back practicing with his teammates. He talked a little bit about the center position as well. Alex Van Pelt spoke about that today and said that they've kind of had him in the mix there. He mentioned David Andrews once again as somebody who has helped him along in the process. So, is this realistic for him to come in and play center for this team? What were your takeaways in general from Cole Strange's press availability today?
Yeah, Cole's always a good interview. He's very transparent. He's very honest. He usually gives you some good nuggets. One thing he mentioned was at practice, we did see on the first rep where he was hitting the bags, kind of slipped, obviously shaking off the rust, but he even said that when they went back and actually watched the film, he's like, oh, wasn't really as bad as I thought, even though he felt really awkward out there. And I think that's going to be part of this, where he's very much literally getting his feet back under him, trying to get one back into football shape, but also just in a position where he can really relearn a lot of the techniques. And then there's the added challenge of all the communicative elements of center and all the things that you have to do to make sure the offense is in the best position before the play and the ball is snapped. Now, I did ask him, is that like a fun challenge for you, obviously? Because, he's a smart guy and he can handle a lot. And now it's a new element to him, even though, last season, Bill Belichick said it. He agreed that he was playing his best football, said he finally was starting to feel comfortable in the league. Now, obviously, the injury hurdle, but also maybe playing a new position. And he mentioned, it is a fun challenge, but it's something where when he's in meetings, he has to pay attention differently. And it's kind of a different mindset that he has to have because he has to know that whenever they're going over, he has to be the one responsible for making those calls. So, still not putting a timeline on it. I have no idea when we'll see him back. Ideally, maybe after the bye week. We discussed yesterday. Make sure to check out that video. Whether he should necessarily play center or left guard, we'll see on that. But I do think it's very interesting how comfortable he seems with the idea of playing center. Like you said, David Andrews has been a big help. He alluded to the fact that he played some center in college, took reps at center in the Senior Bowl. So we'll see whenever the time comes. But really, bottom line, just with everything that Cole Strange went through on a human level, it's impossible not to be excited that he has the opportunity to play football again. And he said himself that he really didn't realize how much he needed football until his entire injury situation.
Yeah, for sure. Very cool story. Patriots opening up his practice window yesterday. He'll have 21 days to return to the active roster. All right, let's keep it on the offensive side of the football. Today we spoke with coordinators Alex Van Pelt and DeMarcus Covington, and you can join those two together as coordinators of Marcus Jones, who finally played some offense last week for the Patriots. Just one play, quick play, but Alex Van Pelt shared that Marcus Jones actually reached out to him to let him know that, hey, I can play offense too. And Van Pelt seemed to not really know that was a thing. He said that Marcus...
He didn't know what Marcus Jones it was. He told us, he was like, is this the Marcus Jones I met in Green Bay a few years back?
Yeah, so fascinating stuff. I mean, the fact that Van Pelt didn't even know it and kind of found this out and went back and watched his tape, and they said, all right, let's give this a shot. DeMarcus Covington was asked about him as well, mentioned that, he's actually he was Travis Hunter before Travis Hunter was at Colorado right now. Obviously, Jones was not a Heisman favorite or anything at Houston, but played both sides of the ball in college and has sort of started to do so at the pro level and finally got his shot under Alex Van Pelt this year. So, is this something that you think the Patriots will continue to do moving forward? Do you think this was just kind of a one-off thing? And what can he bring to the offense if they do continue to give him reps there?
One thing I do want to clarify is Marcus Jones made it very clear he was not the first Travis Hunter-y type. That was Jabril Peppers, who he said he knew actually even before he joined the Patriots, so wanted to give his teammate a little love there for the versatility and impact he made when he was in Michigan. But yeah, I absolutely think this Marcus Jones package could become a thing. One, Marcus Jones spent the entire summer telling us, hey, I'm a defensive offensive player. I'm a defensive player. Obviously, the returnability as well. So it's kind of a shock to find out he was the one who reached out to Alex Van Pelt saying he wanted to have a role on offense. That makes me think that Van Pelt, last year I know people were saying, how in the world did Alex Van Pelt not know that Marcus Jones had offensive flexibility? To be fair, Alex Van Pelt likely would have watched the 2023 offensive tape where Marcus Jones' only offensive snap came as a decoy on a screen to Zeke Elliott that Zeke Elliott actually wound up fumbling on, unfortunately. And then obviously Marcus Jones got hurt the next week and didn't play for the rest of the season. So, yeah, I don't think Alex Van Pelt really registered that he had a defensive player who could contribute, but he said he likes self-starters, so he respected that Marcus Jones reached out, and also said, yeah, he watched like 19 plays or something of Jones and said, that guy's got some juice. So sounds like both guys are on the same page. And as we know, whenever Marcus Jones touches the ball, good things tend to happen, so I could absolutely see more of this moving forward.
Practice report, Patriots were inside on Thursday, just like we're inside right now. Christian Barmore returned to practice as he continues to ramp himself up from the blood clots issue. Deatrich Wise not there. So some attrition still on that defensive front. What do you make of Wise not being out there? What do you think of everything else we saw at practice today?
And clearly Deatrich Wise's injury is more serious than he thought after the game, where obviously the adrenaline's pumping. So a lot of the times these guys have injuries and have no idea the severity until it wears down. You're like, oh, actually that thing that kind of felt a little off, yeah, it hurts real bad this morning. So
yeah, my foot's twice the size it used to be. Right.
So obviously Deatrich Wise, not old by any means, but he's an older player. So, maybe it's just going to take him a while to come back. We have no idea. It's purely speculation. But Christian Barmore being back at practice, similar pattern to last week where we know he can't have consecutive practice days because of the blood clots.
Right.
So it seems like for now the schedule is going to be that he comes in on Thursdays, sits out on Wednesdays and Fridays. Obviously, you hope that this week you could give a little more from Barmore. I think he played 20 snaps last week. Maybe he can ramp that up. Also, you'd like to see more effectiveness as a pass rusher. He did make an impact against the run, but Gerard Mayo acknowledged his pad level was high at times, so you'd like to see improvement there. And then from the defensive front, it's going to probably be another week of Yannick Ngakoue. Yeah. Last week, he was really more of a pass rusher for them, but Gerard Mayo said his use could ramp up this week, and as a defensive end, he could slide right into the role that Deatrich Wise has had on the defense, so I'll be looking for that. Hopefully more effectiveness from both of those guys.
And finally, new mock draft from ESPN draft analyst Matt Miller has the Patriots not taking a wide receiver, not taking an offensive lineman, but taking cornerback Will Johnson from Michigan with, I believe, the 6th overall pick. They do it from reverse draft order, so Patriots currently sitting at number 6, but has them taking a defender instead of some of the glaring holes on offense. What do you think of that? What do you think the Patriots should be looking for as they enter already next season's NFL draft?
Every year, your draft priorities are affected by what happens in free agency. So if the Patriots go out and they sign or trade for a big-name receiver and they can get themselves a really good pass rusher, or Yannick Ngakoue comes on for them and proves to be a good piece, then yeah, I'd be a lot more open to getting cornerback. I think that's one of the really 4 premium positions: wide receiver, left tackle, pass rusher, and then cornerback. Those are all going to be needs this offseason. Now, if you can address them in free agency or through trades, then I'm much more open. Yeah. But just me personally and philosophically, I think that, one, obviously you got to help the trenches for Drake May. You got to get him a true bona fide number 1 caliber receiver. And then on the defensive side, I personally would prioritize the trenches because it's easier to avoid a corner than it is a pass rusher who's going to be, especially not just a pass rusher, but ideally someone with that early in the draft who can contribute on every down and be an effective player for you, who is much more difficult to ignore. So again, if the Patriots are able to check those boxes, I wouldn't necessarily mind, but I don't love the idea if wide receiver, tackle, and edge rusher, or even multiple one of those are still needs. I really don't love the idea of a corner, but if he's the best player available, I think there's an argument to be made.
The answer is Ted McMillan from Arizona. It's that simple. This feels like last year around this time when every single mock draft we saw was, the Patriots are going to take Drake May. The Patriots are going to take Drake May. Outside of this ESPN one, I've seen Ted McMillan from Arizona everywhere going to the Patriots. That would be, I think, not only the most exciting, but also probably filling the most glaring need right now, because Drake May's making this offensive line work in front of him. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying, we've talked about it a million times on Pat Staley and on these stand-ups, Vadarian Lowe isn't going to be the final answer at left tackle, but he's a good stopgap right now. I think you fill wide receiver at that position. Ted McMillan seems like the one. No Travis Hunter, because DeMarcus Covington mentioned you already have that guy here in Marcus Jones. But we're a long way away from the NFL draft. Just some speculation right now. But the Patriots are headed to Miami this Sunday. Taylor will be down there at Hard Rock Stadium, so make sure you keep it here on Patriots Press Pass for all of our Patriots coverage as the Patriots get ready to head down to Miami on Sunday.